Tucked away in the lush heart of Kerala's Western Ghats, rising like a sleeping green giant above the mist and tea estates, stands Anamudi Peak, the highest mountain in South India. Towering at 2,695 meters, 8,842 feet, Anamudi is often called the Everest of the South, but its identity is far more unique. Unlike the icy altitudes of the north, this mountain is wrapped in rainforests, shola grasslands, and whispering bamboo groves. Trekking here isn't just a climb to a summit, it's a journey through the living, breathing biodiversity of the Western Ghats, one of the world's 8 hottest hotspots of biological diversity. Located within the boundaries of Eravikulam National Park, in the Idukki district of Kerala, Anamudi lies just 13 kilometers from the hill town of Munnar. It's easily accessible yet wonderfully remote, blending wild solitude with organized conservation. The trek to Anamudi is not merely about reaching a height, it's about walking through an ancient landscape that shelters endangered species like the Nilgiri Tahr, lion-tailed macaques, and the elusive leopard. It's a place where the air is cool even in summer, where clouds crawl up the slopes like white snakes, and where silence is interrupted only by birdsong and rustling grass. The journey begins in Munnar, a charming town famous for its tea gardens, cool weather, and misty hills. From here, travelers must reach Eravikulam National Park, which is the entry point for the Anamudi trek. Entry is regulated by the Forest Department to protect the fragile ecosystem, and trekkers must obtain a permit and be accompanied by a licensed guide. Private vehicles are not allowed inside the park, so visitors are ferried in eco-friendly buses to the starting point of the trail, near the Rajamalai region. The trek itself is moderately challenging and spans around 7 to 9 kilometers one way, depending on the route permitted at the time. It begins with a gentle walk through grasslands that sway in the breeze like waves. As you ascend, the landscape changes, wildflowers bloom on rocky ledges, and small streams tumble over boulders, making musical trails of their own. The slope intensifies midway, with winding trails that cut across ridges offering sweeping views of Munnar's valleys and tea plantations far below. If you're lucky, you might catch a glimpse of Nilgiritas, a rare species of mountain goat, calmly grazing near the cliffs, unbothered by human presence. Weather plays a crucial role in the Anamudi trekking experience. The best time to trek is between October and May, during Kerala's dry and cooler months. Temperatures range from 10 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius, making for pleasant trekking conditions. The monsoon season, June to September, is strictly off-limits, as the park remains closed due to landslides, slippery trails, and conservation efforts. Post-monsoon, the forests sparkle in fresh green hues, and the mist-laden trails feel like walking through a dream. As trekkers approach the upper slopes, the terrain becomes more rugged, dotted with granite outcrops, flowering shrubs, and wind-carved ridges. From the summit, on a clear day, you can see the Anaimalai hills stretching into Tamil Nadu, with Palakkad Gap to one side and the blue shimmer of the Periyar Basin on the other. The air feels thinner, not because of altitude sickness but because of awe. There are few places in southern India where one can feel so elevated, both physically and spiritually. One of the most unforgettable features of the trek is the unique flora of this region. Anamudi is home to Nilgiri, a rare purplish-blue flower that blooms once every 12 years. When it does, the entire slope transforms into a carpet of violet, a spectacle that draws visitors from around the world. The next mass blooming is expected around 2030, but even when not in bloom, the endemic grasslands and tiny orchids give the hills a rare charm. Around 60% into your journey, you'll realize the power of this landscape to inspire stillness. If you've made it this far, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more such deep dive travel stories into India's wild and sacred lands. We bring you not just destinations, but the entire soul of the journey: climate, routes, history, wildlife, and tips you won't find in guidebooks. Speaking of wildlife, the Anamudi region is an ecological treasure. The Eravikulam National Park itself shelters more than 100 species of butterflies, dozens of birds including the black and orange flycatcher, and mammals like Indian gaur and barking deer. The forest is also home to sacred groves where local tribes once worshipped nature spirits. You'll notice patches of untouched forest amidst the grasslands, places still considered sacred, and thus left wild. After reaching the summit, the descent takes less time but still requires steady footing. Be cautious on rocky patches, especially in foggy or damp conditions. Carry essentials like water, light snacks, sunscreen, a hat, and a rain jacket just in case the weather turns. Mobile network may be patchy, but that's a blessing. It allows you to truly disconnect and feel the rhythm of the hills. Accommodation options in Munnar are plentiful. From backpacker hostels to eco-resorts nestled among cardamom plantations, there's something for every budget. For those seeking more than just comfort, look for stays that offer nature walks or guided treks into lesser-known trails. A few homestays in villages like Chinnakanal and Marayoor also offer cultural experiences with tribal communities. Apart from the trek, Munnar and its surroundings offer several attractions to round out your adventure. Visit the Kundala Lake, Top Station, and the Matupeti Dam. Don't miss the Tahr Tea Museum, where you can learn about the colonial roots of tea production in the region. The Marayoor Sandalwood Forest, not far from the base of Anamudi, is another offbeat stop filled with fragrant breezes and tribal legends. Respect for nature is central to trekking Anamudi. As part of a national park, littering is strictly prohibited, and group sizes are limited. Plastic bags are not allowed. Remember, you're a guest in a very delicate ecosystem. Carry reusable water bottles and leave no trace behind. There are very few summits in the south of India where the thrill of high-altitude adventure meets the serenity of cloud-kissed wilderness. The Anamudi Peak trek offers just that. It's not an adrenaline-filled expedition like in the Himalayas, but a graceful climb through rolling green, a gentle conversation with the wild, and a communion with Earth's ancient rhythms. So, if your idea of adventure includes wind-swept ridges, rare wildlife, fog-draped valleys, and paths lined with silence and wildflowers, Anamudi is calling. Climb it not for the bragging rights, but for the whisper of the wind, the glance of the Nilgiri Tahr, the scent of shola trees, and the clarity that only comes when you stand at the roof of the south. And once again, if this journey stirred something in you, if you found value in every step of this itinerary and feel inspired to walk this path yourself, hit the like button and subscribe for more rare and immersive travel experiences from India and beyond.